All right, the Reds, it's Talking Reds from Barcelona. We're having a great time, aren't we, Josh? It's been brilliant. It's been a great trip. The city is full. It is a very busy city anyway, but it's currently full because there's lots and lots and lots and lots of people who support Liverpool here. We saw that last night. It's packed out, all the bars are packed out. There's lots and lots of people who just sort of come down for the experience and probably won't get anywhere near the ground, but that's what happens when you get to the semi-final of a European Cup. I
always enjoyed coming, a few days earlier because we arrived on Monday evening and at that point there was no Reds, and you just get to sort of see the progress almost of Liverpool fans arriving in the city. It felt like there was about 10 times as many last night as there was on the first night we got here, and like you said, we were in bars last night singing the Firmino song over and over, twatting cigarette machines and then getting told off for it, and generally having a great time. And for me, this is exactly what it's all about. It's coming to these great cities and being able to bask in this weather as well, which is absolutely unreal today. And and just following the Reds and on their adventures, and we're having our same adventures.
Yeah, it's just to be clear there, that's not mindless vandalism from the Anfield. It was just a sort of backing noise to the Bobby song, just a bit of a.
There's a little drum,
one of them, which one of the bouncers took exception to. But yeah, me, John, and Craig went to Jurgen Klopp's press conference yesterday. Sadio Mane did a bit as well. They all seem very calm, very relaxed. Jurgen was quite funny as well, as he is. He's a nice fella, isn't he? And he talked about started talking about Madrid, and he was like, I'm not really sure whether I'm allowed to talk about Real Madrid, but one of the journalists brought up his record against Spanish teams, and statistically it's not great. It also doesn't really matter. But he was basically saying, and they were saying, is Barca like the hardest game you've ever faced in terms of Spanish opposition? And he's like, well, we have played Real. But he mentioned sort of beating them with Dortmund and then getting a free table at a Gareth in Ibiza. And I love that because, he is a bit different, Jurgen. He is his own man. He's led this club to where it is right now, and he's a fantastic manager. I don't think we talk about that maybe as often as we should, really, because it is down to him that we've got where we've got to. You have to look back. We're pinning our hopes a little bit on Brendan Rodgers in terms of the league now, saying can his Leicester side upset City? But you go back to when Brendan was in charge, and I quite liked him, to be fair, but he had his political battles. It was quite clear he didn't see eye to eye with Michael Edwards and others. Jurgen, meanwhile, has sort of brought everyone together, and the club feels as one, feels in a good place. And it's basically, I keep saying this, but it's a really, really good time to be a Red, because whatever happens this season, whatever we win or don't win, Liverpool are in a great place to continually challenge them. Yeah,
I think you're absolutely spot on, to be honest, and credit should go to a lot of people at the club for the way that it's sort of come together in recent months. Think about the appointment of Tony Barrett, back when that was done, and it just sort of felt like the club were doing more to embrace the fans, and I sort of think the foundation that was started by Jurgen and FSG appointing him. And I know there's some people who don't like the owners for their reasons, for probably not spending very much money down the years. I think now they've backed this manager. They've found the horse that they want to bet on, and that's Jurgen Klopp, and he's absolutely he's paid dividends massively, because he's signed Virgil van Dijk, he's signed Alisson. In terms of, if you're looking at on the pitch success, you mentioned there, I don't think we do enough about him as a manager. I remember Mel Reddy wrote a piece, I think it might have been last season, maybe after Kiev, where she talks about everyone sees Klopp as this great personality, and this fella who comes on the pitch and does his fist pumps in front of the Kop and hugs his players. But there's also like an almost Benitez level of cold tactician behind him as well, where he's created this style of play which has revolutionised football. To be honest, I think it's revolutionised German football from his time in Dortmund, and it's revolutionised the way that Liverpool play. I think there's a lot that's said down the years from when I was a kid about the Liverpool way, the way that Liverpool is supposed to play football, and it feels now like we've established a new identity under Jurgen Klopp, which I think is really important when you're competing at the top level of European and domestic football, because we're about to play a Barcelona side tonight who I feel they come to the end of their lifespan of when they were doing the same thing, maybe are looking for a bit of rejuvenation now, a new age of themselves, as well as Liverpool are. But they're also a team that that set their own identity. I think about the teams under Guardiola were probably some of the best teams that I've ever seen, and Lionel Messi led the charge on that. He's still there now, but he's got a load of different teammates around him, so it'd be really interesting to see what they bring to the table tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's look, I'm still confident. I've been confident all along that we can get through this tie. And like we watched Ajax last night, and they were very impressive. But at the same time, you still kind of watch it and thought that I'd fancy Liverpool here. Yeah. I think Liverpool would be the favourites if we got through. The thing with Barcelona, I mean, I don't think this will go through to the players. I think, you know, the manager last night spoke very respectfully of Barcelona, and rightly so. I think there's a lot of confidence among Liverpool fans that, you know, we can go and do something tonight. There was talk last night with some lads I was speaking to about, you know, what's the worst result you would take if you like, because, you know, we're all talking about trying to get like a third win in the new camp and stuff like that. You know, you've got to remember that they're unbeaten in the Champions League at home. They've got a great record. They've won the league. They've only been beaten a couple of times. I think it's Betis and Levante, is it?
Leganes, I think it was.
I was making teams up here. Got a hangover, sorry. But, you know, they're a tough side. I think, you know, this sort of thing about... We had this with Munich, I thought, as well, where it was a bit like the past, the best, the gone, the this, the that, the other. But you saw that at Anfield and in the away leg at times that they were a good side, and they've gone on to prove that since as well by sort of returning to the top of the league domestically and stuff like that. Barca are the same. You know, we can't take them lightly. They've got loads and loads of star players there. It's going to be absolute graft for Liverpool to get a result tonight and get a result across the tie, but they're more than capable of doing so. Listen, we're going to carry on having a bit of a chat about the Reds, but first, it is Wednesday, and on a Wednesday we always give a bit of a nod to one of our sponsors, Tokyo Time.
Tokyo Time are partnering us throughout this season, sponsoring Talking Reds, and we're delighted they are doing so. They are a premium headwear company based here in Liverpool but represented throughout the world. Here's a really cool video that made the shows a little bit more about what they're about. They're supporting us this season, so make sure you support them.
Perfect.
Right, the Reds, so nice one to Tokyo Time there, one of our sponsors. Just wanted to talk about sort of Barcelona. Mention that, you know, the city's packed full of Reds and everyone's having a great time in general terms. Obviously some footage kicking around yesterday of a bit of, you know, a scuffle, if you like, in one of the squares. You and Andy were there at the time when it happened. I think it's fair to say that the police here, you know, do not need much of an excuse to get involved and to start pulling out batons and things like that. So if you're coming over here, if you've just got here, if in general you're just, you know, you're watching this and you're here, just take it easy. I just think, you know, everyone's got varying degrees of sort of experience of these type of events, and, you know, me personally, I think you can see any trouble a mile off and you can just head somewhere else. But my point is that, you know, there's lots of sort of divisive stuff going on social media and that right now. There's videos of Reds acting up a little bit. There's videos of the police getting involved and stuff like that. There's the usual whose fault is all this, and let's look to find blame and sort of dish out insults and all the usual bollocks. Not really interested in any of that. Can't be arsed. What I'm more interested in is that we all come here, we're in the sunshine, we have a good time, we hopefully watch our team win and we all get home safe. That's all I'm interested in. So if you're here today, just take it easy a little bit, use your common sense. If you see loads of police kicking around, you're going to have to be respectful of them whether you like it or not, because they don't need much of an excuse. So, you know, that is what it is. That's the case in lots of big European cities when you go away. I think we can obviously say that German police are the ones, they get it, they understand how it all works, they get fan culture. Maybe these fellas don't, and that being the case, you know, just use a bit of common sense and stay safe today.
I think the other thing is as well, Gareth, like you're representing the city of Liverpool when you come on these trips. You know, Barcelona are going to come to Liverpool in a few weeks' time, and they're going to hopefully have as much of a lovely time as we're having in this city. But they're also going to mirror their behaviour with what we did. You know, like you look at the Roma fans last year, who obviously, you know, just caused chaos at Anfield in the first leg, and then it was massively policed to fuck in the second leg, and you don't want it to have to be that way. You want to be able to come to the football and not sort of, you know, fear for your own safety. You want to be able to walk around these cities and have a lovely time, and I think it's really important that, you know, we as Liverpool fans represent Liverpool in the right way and show, you know, Liverpool is a great place, it's a lovely place. Barcelona fans, I'm sure, will enjoy themselves loads in a few weeks' time, and we need to display, you know, like the best behaviour we can now and have a lovely time while we can.
Absolutely. You know, we're all proud to be Liverpool fans, proud to be from the city, proud to be from the area, and, you know, we want people to feel the same way about Liverpool. We want people to be talking positively about Liverpool fans, so let's try and do all that. But in terms of the team tonight, a little bit of chat in the press conference about that. You know, Klopp was asked about is Firmino fit and stuff like that, and he said, well, he's trained. He said he will train again today and he'll make the decision from there. He pretty much said if he's fit, he's starting, which is no surprise. Yeah. He also said Fabinho is available if need be after the concussion. I mean, what do you reckon? I mean, I say Bobby's sort of a shoe-in, isn't he, if he's available, but do you think Fabinho gets in there tonight?
I think you probably go back to that midfield three, which is becoming the sort of Champions League, the industrious one, as people seem to be calling it, where it's Milner, Henderson and Wijnaldum. That's the one I can see tonight. But it's interesting on the Firmino thing, because Klopp sort of said in loads of press conferences this season about Firmino, and he seems to almost treat him like he's different to the other players, in terms of when Firmino gets an injury, you can push him because he's a lad who pushes himself, he pushes his own body. He obviously knows his own limits, but he's a lad who will sort of play through things, play through little knocks.
He said he was a machine the other day.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a few Liverpool players who've got that sort of mentality, but also have got that sort of that physicality to them as well. And Firmino's right at the top of that list. But in terms of Fabinho, you know, I don't really see why he'd want to push him back for this one. You know, there's loads of games to come in the next few weeks, as the games are sort of coming thick and fast, as the cliche goes. And for me, Fabinho, you know, he went off the other day with you know, a nasty injury. And I think, you know, Klopp's got that tried and trusted midfield that, you know, that he goes to in these kind of games, and it'll be another night in the new camp where we need to you know, win that midfield battle to some extent, because Barcelona, we all know about their style of play, we all know what they're going to try and do, and a lot of that is going to involve their midfield, and, you know, players like Rakitic and Arthur, this lad who's coming through now as well. So I imagine that he's going to go back to that one. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jimmy Milner, because I like, all I can imagine is that someone's got to put in a tackle which sets the tempo in this game, because Klopp's been slagging off the new camp and saying, oh, it's not a temple of football. So I think we need a response tackle early. We need someone to go flying in on Messi or someone, and I think James Milner is the person to do that.
I think on that quote, by the way, Klopp sort of clarified that last night, and if you read the full quote in the context of how we talked about it, he basically said that he went and watched the match there, and, like, you know, you realise it's just the ground rather than sort of to be in awe of. I don't think it was meant to be disrespectful of Barcelona. I know that a lot of the locals have sort of taken it that way, and it was spun that way. And Vinny from Sky asked the question about it yesterday, and he sort of said, you know, he basically said, I hate the way people spin stuff that you say. I don't think that was his intention. There's
absolute pigeons everywhere.
lot of pigeons in this gaff. Yeah, going to wrap it up, but just to say that if you're not onto it already, we are doing lots and lots of content from Barcelona. There's loads of podcasts out there, random and insightful. You have a go at them. We've got the app out there now as well, which is worth a look. Getting loads of feedback on that. I think around 3,000-4,000 people have downloaded it up to now, and the feedback on it has been in general positive, which is great to see. Get on the website as ever, AnfieldApp.com. Listen to the podcast. Continue to watch the videos, and of course we are on social media as well: Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And I'm doing the Instagram. And I'm smashing it, you know. So go and have a look. Go and have a look and comment on that. Have a great time, and wherever you're watching the match tonight, enjoy it. Stay safe. Up the fucking Reds.